Would anyone want to move for the adoption of the agenda?
Sheikh Imam, Chairperson, Chief, Honorable Speaker, thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sheikh Imam. Members, we then consider the minutes of the meeting of the 16th of March. Minutes of the 16th of March. Are there any corrections there? Are we happy with the minutes? Okay, in that case, can somebody move for the adoption of the minutes? Thank you, Honorable Matutina.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I move that the meeting adopts these minutes as a true reflection of our previous meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any seconders?
Sheikh Imam, thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sheikh Imam. Then we proceed to look into the matters arising out of the minutes. The one matter I need to report on is Masibulele, you are here. Thank you. Please proceed. Just give a report on matters arising.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and good morning, honorable members. Just to report for the record that the electoral amendment bill has been signed, so it's now an act. Also, the SABC board has since been appointed, as members will be aware, since the last time we met. Then there's an issue of the gambling bill that is supposed to go to mediation. We are in discussions with the NCOP in terms of the processes that must be followed in that regard. So those are the three matters, Madam Speaker, that I would like to raise. I would also, with your indulgence, ma'am, just wish to indicate that I should have recorded the apology of Deputy Speaker and House Chairperson before, but I could not. I had technical issues. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kaso. That is the report. Those are the matters arising, which we have on our side. From your side, honorable members, are there any other matters arising out of the minutes? I don't see hands. I think people are happy. Then we proceed, honorable members, to deal with the report by the committee section. May I invite
Speaker, I'm very sorry for coming late to sleep on the job. I'm sorry for sleeping on the job. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to make a plea to you. It's not a matter arising per such. If you could just make a follow-up with the Office of the President in terms of the appointment of members of the joint.
Hold on. Who's that? Will you please?
What is being too late? Show us.
Honorable member, will you please mute? Who's that? Thank you. Chief Whip, proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Can I request that the Honorable Speaker make a follow-up with the Office of the President in terms of appointment of members of Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence? That committee is struggling to correlate. I know you once communicated or corresponded with the Office of the President. If you could make a follow-up, please. They are short of two people. They are unable to correlate. Please, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip. We were just talking about it now with Mr. Kaso, and we're following up on the matter. Thank you very much. I don't know why there is a delay, but we should also remember, honorable members, that members of the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence are subjected to a vetting process. So it is possible that the delay may not be necessarily be with the president, it may be with the intelligence services. But I will check this because I am also concerned. I now know that today they are on an oversight mission, and there are only 3 members. So we will check that. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip. Yes, Honorable Singh.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Yes, and good morning to you and all our colleagues online from admin and our colleagues. Thank you very much. There was a document circulated yesterday on capacity of rooms in Parliament. I don't know if Honorable Mr. Castro is going to deal with that later on when we're doing program and the budget votes. If it's going to be done later, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Castro, you may as well deal with it right away.
Madam Speaker, we have circulated the document, and if colleagues may place it on the screen, please. And the idea is to just give a sense of what we have available in Parliament currently to enable committees of Parliament to meet. We have, say, 15 venues, if you exclude the Good Hope Chamber, that can be used for physical meetings of committees. You have the M46, 50. Well, I won't read the capacities, but first column we indicate the venue, and then we indicate the capacity of the venue, and we also under notes we indicate whether the venue is hybrid enabled or not. Currently, we have 3 venues. If colleagues can go down, document. These are the 2 venues. They are smallish, but a committee can meet those are boardrooms B1 and B2 and take up to 15 people. They are both hybrid enabled. Others are not yet enabled, but the Secretary to Parliament is certainly prioritizing the matter of making these venues hybrid enabled as well. So that is what we have, ma'am. Just to indicate that the intention is so that committees are able to secure these venues for their physical meetings in Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Castro. You may as well deal with the budget votes and where they will be held, which venues we've identified for those.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. We have identified 2 venues at the moment for budget vote debates. As members will be aware, budget vote debates will start on the 9th of May until the 26th May, I think. And we have identified the Good Hope Chamber and S12A for those physical meetings. We indicated to the Chief Whips Forum yesterday that we are working on committee room 1 and 2, which can take up to 72 people. But at this point, we want to commit to these 2 venues, and we prefer that, in fact, we use these 2 venues for the purposes of the budget votes. And of course, S12, 1 and 2 will be the backup venue in the event that there are difficulties with one of the venues. So Good Hope Chamber and S12A, and the intention is that those meetings be fully physical. So there will not be hybrid sessions for budget votes. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Castro. I note the hand of, I recognize Honorable Papo. Honorable Papo.
Speaker, I just wish to thank the NA team for implementing that decision in relation to availability of committee rooms. We just need to ensure that the scheduling is done in such a way that there are no clashes where members have to attend meetings in same clusters at the same time and committees don't correlate. And also because the implications of that is that you may invite officials, and if a meeting doesn't correlate, that's a fruitless expenditure for the department. So that's, for me, I wish to thank them for that, and that all political parties need to indicate to their members that we are on hybrid for plenary sessions of the House, but for committees, we are now moving into physical mode, and therefore the era of virtual for committees has ended. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Papo. I now recognize Honorable Singh.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you for the information. I think just following on Honorable Papo, I think by next week, administration needs to unpack what this is really going to mean. Because if we're going to have venues and it cannot accommodate members in that venue at a particular moment for a particular vote, then it's going to be a bit problematic. For example, parliament vote, the president vote 1. Normally we have it in a much larger facility so that we can all participate and all be there. So I would really like them to unpack and give more thought to that kind of thing. And if we want all our members to be in Cape Town, then we've got to be assured that whatever rooms are being used are going to be adequate for them to be seated, and that even officials who sometimes advise their ministers when questions are asked may have space in those rooms. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Singh, followed by Honorable Machodina and then Honorable Kalipi. Lower your hand, Honorable Papo, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and to honorable members. Honorable Speaker, let me endorse the report by Mr. Xaso. We agreed yesterday in the Chief Whips Forum that we as Chief Whips of parties, we must encourage our members to come back to Parliament, especially for physical meetings of committees. When it comes to budget votes, as Mr. Xaso have said, we have agreed that these meetings are going to be staggered, and the capacity of the venues will have to schedule the meetings in accordance to what is supposed to be. And whilst we appreciate the fact that all members have a right to attend any meeting, but in this instance, it is not possible that members who are not members of that particular committee to get a first preference in terms of physical attendance in these venues because of the numbers that are a little bit limited. And we have made a commitment as Chief Whips that we are going to speak to our members that they should not feel comfortable to always work from Zoom platform. Parliament must also work physically, even beyond members of Parliament. The staff of Parliament, through you, Honorable Speaker, please try to make a little bit of a whip on them that they must come to Parliament, because most of staff members, we last saw them beginning 2020. Since COVID time, they've never been in Parliament physically. So let's make Parliament work now, notwithstanding that we still have some challenges of venues, but I endorse what Mr. Xaso have said. We further agreed that committee section must then come up with a roster of meetings to avoid unnecessary clashes, roster of meetings of committees, so that when people are attending, they must know that they attend in this particular venue at this particular time. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Whip. Honorable, you are followed by Honorable Kalipi.
Yes, Speaker. No, thanks very much. Yeah, we have dealt with this matter in the Chief Whips Forum, and then on top of what is presented by Babu Xaso here, in terms of in relations to the availability of committee rooms, we seek also the clarity for the committees that are meeting in hotels. Since we have only limited spaces in Parliament, and there are committees that are meeting in hotels. And we said we need to get a clarity in terms of why and how other committees can meet in hotels. That is number two. That is number one. Number two is that we have even said we are going to encourage the members, because Parliament must be opened. The accountability of those who must account to Parliament must happen. And to continue to meet on Zoom is going to be a problem, because we still have a load shedding, and it seems as if the load shedding is still going to continue. So it's very, very difficult to continue to meet on Zoom while Parliament is supposed to meet physically. Those are the things that we discussed in the Chief Whips Forum yesterday. So thanks for the report, but what is missing here is the reason of the hotels that is available. And we said we need to be clarified who qualified to go and meet in the hotel. Is it in line with the Parliament that other committees can go and meet in the hotel, and so on and so on, so as the members of the Chief Whip Forum can know and then go and take it to the caucuses. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mkalipi. I want to suggest that Mr. Kaso brings that report takes that report to the Chief Whips Forum, maybe next week, to answer the questions raised by Honorable Mkalipi. Honorable Sheikh Imam, followed by Honorable Kwahube. Lower your hand, Honorable Mkalipi, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, we support the report as tabled, but I just thought, I'm not sure if it's entirely relevant now, to draw your attention to the fact that directly opposite Parliament, where the statue is, there is an entire block of apartments that is for sale. Perhaps maybe we need to look at it in the future for venues or whatever purposes it might suit, given the challenges we're facing. And it's directly across the road, not even 1 minute walk outside. Thank you. On Roland.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sheikh Imam. I think they will look into that. And then my next speaker, mute, Honorable Honorable Kwahube.
Thanks, Speaker. Yeah, this is definitely a step in the right direction, particularly for these important budget votes that we are headed towards. I just think it's also important to emphasize that this is also going to require ministers in particular to be able to attend in person, because that's going to be quite important, as we've seen in the hybrid sitting, deputy ministers attending or ministers not being there. So this is a step in the right direction, and we're hoping that we can see an expansion of this for other sittings too. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kwahube. That brings us to the end of this discussion. Ms. Kiba, will you please take the floor? And
thank you very much, Madam.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. A very good morning to all the members as well as my colleagues. I will not read all the slides, Madam Speaker, with your permission. The report is as was circulated. I will just focus on certain slides, which is slide number 2, for an example. I wish to report that there are 28 ordinary bills before the National Assembly committees. In the last meeting, there were 28 until the later referral of the judicial amendment bill before the PC on justice. Then the next reporting slide, Madam Speaker, will be slide number 4. We want to report that the Portfolio Committee on Health aims to finish the National Health Insurance Bill by the 24th of May. We have not received any further updates on that, but if there are new developments, we will get the information and update the slide, Madam Speaker. Then on slide number 9.
Yes, Honorable Kiba, slide number 9. Ms. Kiba. Ms. Kiba.
Seems to be muted, ma'am. But that slide reflects that the climate change bill is aimed to finish on the 14th of June, 2023. If we can then proceed with it. And of course, the National Youth Development Agency Amendment Bill, the aim to finish date is 28th of November, 2023. We also just want to indicate, ma'am, that as indicated previously, the implementation plan of the executive on the Zondo Commission report was referred to committees of the NA. There are committees that have already been briefed by the Connect advisors. If police can go to that slide, by the Connect advisors, and we shall be discussing with the House Chairperson for committees, just in terms of how the matter must be dealt with going forward. But the issues are currently before the committees of the NA, and those issues that relate to the functioning of Parliament from the NA side, those are before the subcommittee of the rules, which will be meeting tomorrow, with a view to report to the Rules Committee when it meets next week. That is our report, ma'am, on under the committee section. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Kaso. Was that the end of the report? The committee section report, Ms. Kiba, are you back? Not back yet. Mr. Kaso, was that the end of the report?
That is what we would have liked to highlight, ma'am. That is the end of the report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Kwahube.
Speaker, just a question. You will recall last term we had raised the point about engaging with the executive and the leader of government business in particular to make sure that we do not have a flurry of executive bills which are going to be coming towards the end of the year, which may not be concluded in time. So I'm hoping that Mr. Kaso and his team and yourself and the LOGB are, appraised of what we are going to get, because it's just not going to be fair on members to try and rush through bills. Then the second question I just wanted to ask Mr. Kaso is, which of the portfolio committees have started with the implementation plan of the Zondo Commission report? Thanks.
Thank you, Honorable Kwahube. Mr. Kaso, will you please respond to that issue of the leader of government business first?
Yes, no, thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I think I'll respond on it on two fronts. One, a list of bills has been submitted, and that list contains, I think, 42 or 44 bills, but 12 of those have been indicated as priority bills. Out of the 12, none has been introduced yet, and we are discussing with the Bills Office, and we will obviously be advising Speaker on how to deal with the matter, just to get an indication from the executive of the timelines in terms of introducing those 12 priority bills. In terms of engagements with the leader of government business, I am aware that Madam Speaker has had initial discussions with the leader of government business on matters affecting Parliament. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kaso. Honorable Papo.
Speaker, I just wanted to check whether we are using the term Zondo Commission in official meetings and records of Parliament, or NA, because that's not the name of the commission, it's the nickname. I'm just asking.
No, you're right, Honorable. As we all know, it is a state capture. It's a commission which was investigating state capture. So we know what the full name is. Honorable members, let's avoid using the Zondo Commission. Zondo Commission is just a nickname. Thank you very much. Honorable Majortina.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on the question raised by Honorable Kwahube, I want to suggest that the chair of chairs, Honorable Frolik, the programming whip in a technical meeting, maybe they must assist us in terms of programming the committees to be able to have time to deal with the state capture report that has been referred to them. We must treat the state capture reports like we do about budget votes, because if we don't do that, the committees might proceed doing their normal oversight in terms of the mandate and not integrate that with the state capture report. So, and my second proposal to the meeting is that as Parliament, let's try to ensure that our committees, they deal with this state capture report, so that when we end this term, the 6th term, we should have done with the matters that have been referred to us. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip. The Chair of Chairs is here, Honorable Frolik.
No, good morning, Honorable Speaker, and also to the colleagues. Honorable Speaker, as you will recall, we did have a workshop with the chairpersons of committees of both houses. And in that workshop, there was numerous inputs made by the chairpersons around the Commission on State Capture and the guidance that is required in terms of what exactly was referred to them. We at a technical level are working on firstly having a meeting with the relevant chairpersons. Some of them have now been briefed already. And in the next programming committee, there will be a more detailed response. Secondly, chairpersons of committees, those who are affected, have also been requested to include this into their quarterly programs, and those programs are being received and is being implemented at the moment, and a comprehensive report will be put to this meeting at a later stage. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Frolik. And I must say that I'm aware that Honourable Chief Whip and Honourable members, that indeed, because I did participate in that workshop, and I'm aware that there is a directive which has been issued. In fact, it's a decision of the collective that this is how the matter should be handled. And hopefully chairpersons will start doing that. Anyway, we'll be monitoring closely how chairpersons are then integrating this part of our work into the body of the program, which they already have. Now we proceed, honorable members, to receive a report from the Bills Office. Dr. Mbata.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, and good morning to the honorable members. Madam Speaker, I will provide updates on our report since the last time we met. And the first update is on slide 2. The Prevention of Illegal Eviction Amendment Bill was introduced on the 29th of March and is on the order paper for first reading. And the Judicial Matters Amendment Bill was also introduced and referred to the Committee on Justice. Slide 3. Slide 3 indicates that the 2023 legislative program was submitted on the 3rd of April with a total number of 42 bills. Mr. Taso has already highlighted this. And the next slide will be on slide 4, please. The Bills Office has received 4 draft bills certified for introduction. And these draft bills are the Merchant Shipping Bill, Responsible Spending Bill, Remuneration of Public Office Bearers Amendment Bill, and the South African Post Office Amendment Bill. I must indicate, Madam Speaker, that the South African Post Office Amendment Bill is part of the bills that are on the legislative program for this year. And there are 2 bills approved by Cabinet for introduction. The 2 bills are the Public Service Amendment Bill and the Public Administration Amendment Bill. And lastly, Madam Speaker, which is on slide 5, I would like to report on the 4 bills recently assented to. The first one is the Second Adjustment Appropriation Bill, the Employment Equity Amendment Bill, and the Compensation for Occupational Injuries and Diseases Amendment Bill. And the last one is the Electoral Amendment Bill. And there are currently 2 bills pending the President's assent. So that's all from the Bills Office, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mbata. Honorable members, are there any questions, clarity-seeking questions? Honorable Singh.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thanks for the report. I don't know if Advocate van der Merwe is there on bills that we've been asked, or legislation that we've been asked to look at by the Constitutional Court. And I think she will know the one I'm talking about. And some of those amendments are included in the Judicial Matters Amendment Bill, which I saw was tabled before the committee yesterday, or on the 23rd of March. Now, I don't think that committee is going to be able to complete, dealing with that bill after public consultations, etc., before the deadline of the Constitution Court, I think, which was June 2023. Could you just speak to that, or maybe look into that particular matter? It's an amendment dealing with maintenance and definition of spouses. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Singh. Would you like to respond to that, Dr. Mbata?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Singh will give the message to Advocate van der Merwe, and we will give the report next week when she is available. Thank you so much.
Honorable Kalipi.
Madam Speaker, I'm seeking clarity on the electoral bill. I didn't hear very well what Ms. Mbata was saying about the electoral bill on the list here.
Okay. Dr. Mbata.
Thank you, Honorable Mukalipi. I was reporting that the bill was signed by the President, the electoral bill.
Okay, Speaker.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Mukalipi. Thank you, Dr. Mbata. It seems now we've come to the end of that one. We then proceed to the draft parliamentary program. Before I invite Honorable Lisuma, just to indicate to honorable members that this year is a century, it's 100 years of the acceptance of women into the legal profession. I have requested Honorable Lisuma, together with her team, to look into possibilities of having a special session dedicated to that achievement, honorable members. I am hoping that then she wouldn't be able obviously to report on that at this meeting, but I'm hoping that next week when we'll meet, we will then receive a report on that matter. Just some activities and a special session which will honor the women and celebrate the achievement that this year will be 100 years with women having been accepted into the legal profession. It is it's a matter which we should consider. We should have a special sitting and have a debate on that matter. Thank you very much, honorable members. Proceed, Honorable Lisuma.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Lisuma is not available right now. He has just logged out because she's flying to Cape Town to attend public hearings. However, I will assist Mr. Xaso that on the speaking notes to the program is that there has been committee oversight from 18 to 21. Other committees are in meetings, others are on oversight trips, as what was presented in the previous meeting. The period of 22nd to 26 April is set aside as a leave period in preparation for Freedom Day holiday in that week, and therefore it is a leave for next week. Then ordinary plenaries are scheduled to start on the 2nd of May with budget votes that will commence then on the 9th of May. In terms of administration, we confirm the state of readiness for budget votes. Vote 2 is proposed, that one of Parliament, to be on the 29th of May. Vote 1, the presidency, as well as a reply thereon that are scheduled for the 30th of May. The 1st of June, respectively. So the vote of the presidency is for a reply on the 30th of May and 1st of June, respectively. Consideration of the appropriation bill, as well as votes and schedules, are proposed for the 6th of June, starting in the morning. The questions to the president and the deputy president are scheduled for 11 and 25th of May, respectively. Currently, we don't have any backlog or outstanding questions that were not responded to, so we are within the schedule. All virtual mini plenaries are scheduled to commence on the 4th of May and 15th of June in order to consider party motions as reflected on the program. Then it will take us to the constituency period, which is set aside for the 19th June to the 31st of August in order to allow parties to start preparing for general elections 2024. As members will have just got a confirmation that the president have signed the electoral reforms bill to be an act of government, and IEC already, they have put aside the 19th of November for voter registration, and therefore parties will need time to be in their constituencies. On the sectoral parliaments, we will have this year a youth parliament as one of the activities that will take place. Debates on national importance are going to be scheduled within the program. So Mr. Kaso can then go page by page. I just outlined what is in the content of this programming of Parliament, and the dates and other programs are well tabled there in each and every page. Through you, Honorable Speaker, Mr. Kaso can then run through the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Majotina. Before you start, Honorable Kaso, just to say that Honorable Singh and I are now leaving the meeting to be part of the Joint Judicial Services Commission. Honorable Groto will then. Thank you very much, members.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Good morning. I'm not sure if Mr. Kaso would like to add, or should we go straight to any clarities that are needed? I don't see any hands. Yes, Honorable Mr. Kaso. Oh.
Chairperson, just to say that I think I don't need to repeat what has been indicated already. I have just to say that for next week, you want to complain about the time for the Rules Committee and the Joint Rules Committee. We will continue with the Rules Committee from 10 o'clock, and the Joint Rules Committee, we will extend the time because we will consult the NCOP on the matter as requested by the WIPARI, and we'll add one item to the agenda for the Joint Rules, which is the framework for the amendment of the Joint Rules. That is all I would like to add. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see the hand of Dr. Luttridge.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning, everyone. Chairperson, I would just like to inquire in terms of the budget vote debates, whether we already have an indication of speaking times allotted to the different parties, as there are members who would like to start preparing. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Whip of the Opposition.
Chair, I wanted to just ask whether or not this will be dealt with in rules, or if we have an indication whether or not the Ministry of Electricity will be dealt with under Vote 1, just so that we can have an understanding of how that will be done during the budget votes. Thanks.
Thank you. I don't see any other hands. Mr. Kaso.
Thank you, ma'am. Regarding the matter of the Ministry of Electricity, I would request that we await the deliberations of the Rules Committee next week, because it's one of the matters that will be dealt with the new ministries, how they are going to be treated. That's the first thing. The other one, the issue of times for debates. We will distribute the times after the meeting. Those will be available. And also to just clarify that budget vote on the Parliament and on the President, because those two budget votes involve all. One will be held in the Group Chamber, and there will be those two budget votes will be hybrid sittings for those two budget votes, so that all members can be able to participate in the budget vote, unlike the budget vote of the parliaments.
Thank you. Ms. Kalipi?
Chair, I think there's a problem with the microphone of Babu Paso, and it has been there for a long time. I suggest that the IT must look at it because we have some difficulties to hear him out when he outlines some of the programs.
Oh, okay. But besides that, you are okay. Look into that, Mr. Kaso. Maybe you're using earphones. That also sometimes give problem. You can lower your hand, Mr. Mkanipi. Thank you very much. Honorable members, I don't see any other hands under this item. So the program is as proposed and all others will follow if there is a need for anything to be communicated on the program. Honorable members, we are now on the announcement, item number 8. Do we have any? None. Then we have reached the end of our meeting. This is closure item number 9. Thank you very much, colleagues, for attending the meeting. Thank you very much for your contributions.
Thank you,
Recording
Mama
stopped.
Bruto. Nice frame.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you.